Hey everybody, my name's Erin and this is the very first episode of Moth Rust. I'm so excited to be with you. Wow, what are words? I'm so excited to be with you today and to kind of introduce myself, introduce like kind of what I want to do and what I want this endeavor, this experiment, if you will, to be. First things first, I have been collecting records since about 2008. I really tend to lean more towards the hard rock, punk, hardcore, metalcore genres. Now, of course, there's outliers here and there. Those are the type of things that I'm interested in, and those are the type of artists that are going to show up here on my channel just because, like, I have so many of them. Now, as you see behind me, there are no records. Yeah, that's because the records are in a different room. I have a selection here to show you, just to kind of show you what kind of music I like and a little bit of a taste of maybe what's to come. So the records I have pulled out, I've kind of fit into like little criteria. So the first one I have is the first record that I ever bought. So the first record that I ever bought is Ramones, Road to Ruin. I picked this one up at a flea market back in 2008, I think. I like the Ramones, of course. I love this cover. I just enjoy their whole aesthetic. Like, they're very punk, but it's not unachievable. I mean, they're just wearing sneakers and jeans and like leather jackets, basically. You know, like it's super achievable. I feel like sometimes these punk bands you see, especially not, this era, but a little bit later on into the 80s, it's a lot more fashion oriented, like the Sex Pistols, and they have the belts and the combat boots, and it's just not as accessible as the Ramones, I don't think. But, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but I love this album. This is just like a old beat up copy. Of course, I've had it for a long time. I haven't listened to this in a while actually, but it's got plenty of spins. It's got plenty of spins on my record player. So the next selection of albums that I have for you is my most recent buys. Now I bought these two at the same time, so I'm showing you two that go into this category. The first one being the Specials. This is a ska band out of the UK. They're just really enjoyable. I watched a couple of their music videos, and so when I saw this at the record shop for pretty cheap, I knew I had to pick it up. I mean, I paid like $12 for this one. I mean, it's pretty dingy. It's pretty beat up. That doesn't really matter to me because I'm just here because I love the music. And fun fact that Elvis Costello actually produced this record, and I just think that's a really fun little tidbit. So, the Specials. Just a self-titled record. And the next one I have for you is one of my personal favorite bands, and that is Thrice, The Artist in the Ambulance Revisited. This is a re-recording of their album, The Artist in the Ambulance. I just listened to this album today, and I was very, very impressed with the changes that they made and just how impactful this album still is. Like, it's still punchy, it's where it needs to be, but I would say like the slowed down and the toned down parts are even more impactful than the original. But that's just my opinion. I really love Thrice. I have a lot of their stuff. You'll probably see them pretty frequently popping up in my collection. Let's see. All right, I got two more for you. The last record I listened to, and that is the Flatliners Inviting Light. I was originally introduced to this band through the podcast Mabel Syndrome. If you don't know what the Mabel Syndrome is, it's a women-led news outlet for punk bands. So definitely give it a look. I know they're active on Instagram. They also have a website. Anyway, that's how I was introduced to this band. They're just like grown up punk, if that makes sense. Like I like to use the term old man punk because I feel like it's music from people who grew up in the punk scene and got a little older, a little bit more chilled out, and decided to release a record. That's what this band sounds like to me. I really enjoy it. It's very chill. It was a great listen to while I was doing a little bit of work today because it's not too intense, but it's just the right amount. Anyway, this is the Flatliners, Inviting Light. This record in particular is like on this really pretty green. And I was going to look at, okay, so this was released on Rise Records. This was released on Rise Records in 2017. Definitely give the Flatliners a check out if that sounded interesting to you. And the very last band I have for you is the last band I saw live. And it's embarrassing to say how long ago that was. This is Stretch Armstrong, The Rituals of Life. Now, this record was a track down for me. I picked this one up several years ago. I found it on Discogs. There was a time when I just went out and searched all of the Stretch Armstrong that I could find, and Discogs was my best friend when I was in the process of doing that. Now, it has been a while, and they have since come back together and have released an EP, but this is their first record, and it's really lovely orange, translucent. Armstrong is a hardcore band from my home state of South Carolina, so they're very important and impactful for me as a person and being a fan of the music in this particular area. So many local bands were heavily influenced by them, and that was an integral part of me growing up in the hardcore scene when I did. I'm very grateful for Stretch Armstrong and everything they have done for our hardcore community here in the state and what they continue to do and hopefully continue to release new records. I would love to see more from them and more shows. So that's all the music I have to show you today. But I really am excited about this endeavor, learning a new skill of video editing, which I have no experience in. So please bear with me if the quality is shite and needs a little bit of help because I am a newbie and I am learning. But I'm not a newbie at record collecting, and I can't wait to show you what I have next and what I have coming up. I would love to do some deep dives into some of these bands that I have, maybe one on Stretch Armstrong, maybe some on some other bands that I've filled out the discography before. But I'm genuinely thrilled to be able to do this, to be able to show you guys my collection, because it's something that I've been wanting to do and been considering on doing for such a long time. And I'm very, very glad that I have the capability and the time to do that now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Probably have angry cats now.